Welcome to Reparenting Daily, your free daily guide for inner child healing and repairing the relationship with yourself. This podcast helps you establish a consistent reparenting routine and is divided into 3 sections. The first is the daily reading, the second is a discussion of the reading, followed by suggested journal prompts, and the last section is peaceful binaural beats meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us. I'm so glad that you could join us on this journey of self-expansion. If this is your first time here, welcome. As a celebration of passing episode 700, I've opened a free membership tier for the Patreon community so you can access additional resources and join the weekly Zoom calls for free. I know there's a lot going on in the world right now and that so many people are really struggling. My hope here is to still encourage others to continue the work on reparenting and to offer a free community where people can come together and do that. I'd also like to thank all of you who've been along on the journey so far. Just as a reminder, this is a free podcast, but you can support the project by purchasing the Reparenting Daily Journal, where you can follow us along all year. This 333-page journal gives you extra insight and resources for each week, and also provides space for you to keep your notes. Another way to support the podcast is to purchase the Fairy Tales for Reparenting series, volumes 1 through 3. This collection organizes famous and obscure fairy tales from around the world into the 3 phases of the hero's journey. While you might think that fairy tales are for kids, I'd like to challenge you. These stories contain profound truths and lessons carried down over millennia that we can use in our reparenting journey. It's a fun way to reconnect with your inner child. Each volume comprises 10 fairy tales. They include an analysis section to help you dive deeper into the message, as well as journal prompts and space to reflect on the story's meaning in your life. Lastly, you can also support the project by taking a paid Patreon subscription, by purchasing the books on the website, or by donating via Buy Me a Coffee. You can find all this information on the Support Us section of the website. So now, with these announcements out of the way, let's dive into today's practice. Today, we're going to be listening to a portion of a video entitled Survival Mode Will See You and Run Once You Embody This, a new daily ritual. This is a video by Elor Eva Ayurdalia. You can find the link in the show notes. I just came across her and I found this video really touching, and it also follows from what I was discussing yesterday about the fact that healing this trauma, reparenting individuation coming out of survival mode is not so difficult. It's a matter of habit. The industries that we seek, mental health, coaching, have made it so much more complicated. Most likely because they are financially incentivized to delay the healing so they can charge more. Getting better is not difficult. It's not hard. That is one of the first beliefs. Well, the first belief is that you must believe that it's possible to get better. And then the second most important belief is that you need to believe that it's not hard to get better. Now, to say something is not hard doesn't mean that it doesn't take work and consistency, dedication, discipline, of course. But it's not impossible. So many of us feel completely broken, perhaps, from our difficult childhoods and repeated experiences. But changing your reality is not as difficult as you imagine, as Neville Goddard and his teacher Abdullah said. You must feel, believe, and act as if it was already true. Consistency, visualization, emotional intensity, repetition, all of these things change your body. Your thoughts change your body. Your thoughts create your reality. Your thoughts determine your energy levels, which determines your behavior and how other people respond to you and read you. And so the solution is really quite simple. And ironically, it's free. As I mentioned yesterday, some people sit in therapy. I've heard it before, older people, less people from this generation, but I've heard this a lot from older people. They have been in therapy for 5, 15, 20 years. And the therapist isn't even able to help them realize the core issue, let alone an effective solution, other than continuously circling around the same story, which ironically just ingrains your identity further deeper into your body. Talk therapy is important. Of course, it's important to examine the past, but creation is how you exit survival mode. And so without further ado, let's take a listen to this video. I encourage you to click on the link in the show notes because it's entirely, it's about an hour-long video, and I've only included a portion with the first suggestion, but there are some really fascinating tips there and some actionable advice that allows you to begin to shift yourself out of survival mode so that you don't have to waste another second of your day disconnected from your true nature.
So we begin the night before. The night before is a very critical time for planning the day after, the morning when you rise. The night before is when everything is activated. So your first step is to ensure that you have a nightly protocol. That means when you go to bed at night, please understand that every day when you rise, you are rising again. It is literally a brand new slate. It's literally a brand new life when you rise every morning. This is a brand new life when the sun comes up. You're a brand new person. If you do not believe that you're a brand new person, you're going to default to the old you. If you do not activate yourself the night before and the morning after, you're going to get stuck in the loop. The idea is very simple. It's instead of going through this loop again and again and again, we find a way to break the pattern of being our old self somewhere inside of this loop. Okay, so that you don't wake up and get stuck inside of this autopilot mode, which is going to happen by default of your mind registering to the old thoughts, registering to your environment, literally trying to figure out who you are. And so the plan is to tell your subconscious mind who you are before you go to bed at night, or as you go to bed at night. You want to go to bed at night with a very simple framework. You can call this prayer, you can call this meditation, you can call this visualization, you can call this daydreaming before you actually go to sleep at night. However you want to do it, what you want to do is begin to jinx yourself. You want to have a very clear idea of who you are and who it is that you are trying to become. And when you go to bed at night, you want to speak to yourself as that person. If, for example, you want to begin to live a more creative, expressed life, you want to start telling yourself, I am the sort of person who lives a creative life. I'm the sort of person who is active, and I am always very dedicated to the work that I do. I'm a dedicated person. I am a powerfully focused person, dedicated. Right? If you're a focused person, if this new identity that you want to become is a focused person, if this new person that you want to become is someone who travels a lot, is someone who wakes up and goes to the gym, or is someone who loves to sing, loves to play, however this person is who you want to be at night when you're going to bed, is who you want to visualize. Please realize that every night you go to sleep, you are giving yourself the opportunity to rise again in the morning as a brand new person. You literally have a brand new slate. You do not have to go back to the old you. You can change just like that. You can become a new person just like that in an instant. The idea here is to find a way to disrupt this loop that is happening and creating a certain pattern in your life, a repeated pattern in your life. That loop needs to be intercepted at some point, okay, so that you can create a brand new vision for yourself. You can create a brand new protocol, a brand new system, okay? And so intercepting that loop happens the night before. Every night, starting today, when you go to bed, I want you to create a nightly protocol for yourself, understanding that the nighttime gives you the opportunity to rise again as a brand new person. And so when you're going to bed at night, you want to have a new protocol for going to bed. The last thing that you do, the last 30 minutes of your night, just before you go to bed, is the most powerful time to program your subconscious mind and teach your subconscious mind, tell yourself, invoke a new version of yourself at night and say to yourself, I am now going to sleep as my most expressed, divine, beautiful self. I am now going to sleep as this new version of me. I want you to start thinking of what this new version of you is doing. If right now you're not living your dream life, I want you to begin to dream your dream life into action by going to bed as that person. Because this activity that you're doing mentally and visualizing this new person is literally teaching your subconscious mind to rise as that person. You're literally programming yourself to become that person when you rise in the morning. So at night, what you want to do when you're going to bed is become that person before you go to bed so that you rise as that person. If this new person is somebody who loves to read, somebody who is always studying, somebody who works out at the gym, what are the things that this new person does? Okay, this, of course, is something that you have to begin to prepare yourself to understand about yourself. When you are no longer in survival mode, who are you? Because when we are in survival mode, and this is why you want to go watch the video prior to this one on my channel, where I was explaining to you how to rise through your energy centers so that you can rise from survival, which is at your root energy center, into your heart center, okay? Especially if you're the kind of person like me who wants to get out of survival mode through their creativity, because your creative expressions are literally here to save you, okay? So if you are, for example, somebody who currently works a job and you no longer want to work a job anymore, you want to start having your creative expressions fuel you, you want to have your creative life become the main focus of your life, then you want to start going to bed imagining all the things that you are when you are in this sovereign, creative, beautifully expressed version of yourself. Who is this person? What do they do? How do they live? How do they interact with the world? Who are your friends? Where do you go to? How do you vibe? How do you carry yourself? You want to begin to imagine all of those aspects of yourself and actually speak to yourself as this person when you're going to bed at night. This is the first step. You want to have a nightly protocol where you visualize your new sovereign self, even though you are not that person right now. You want to visualize that person. You want to speak into that vision. You want to speak, because please understand that your vocal, your voice is literally the frequency of your life, is the creative power of your life. And so your voice is very, very key for speaking to yourself. I know that we like to listen to other people's affirmations. We like to listen to affirmations on YouTube or however you get your affirmations. But the most powerful affirmations and the most powerful voice for you is your voice. So you want to start vocalizing your affirmations as you go to bed at night. Now,
Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the portion of this talk, and I hope you all check it out in its entirety, because she has a lot of good tips that really show us how it's possible to break away from survival mode and to align with the universal energy, our true self, so that we'll be able to stick to our discipline more effectively without so much strain and effort. And most importantly, from a place of joy. We can exit survival mode. It's not difficult. Not as difficult as you think. It's just a matter of repetition, of practice, of discipline. It's not hard, the instructions are easy, but it takes time. So I hope that you're finding some hope today and realizing, as we come again to the end of this 2-year stretch of daily episodes, that you can exit survival mode. It's a matter of creation. You are the creator of your own reality. You are the only one who defines the meaning of the events in your life. You have so much more power than you realize. And you deserve so much more than a life lived in survival mode. So if we think about some reflection questions for today. Number 1, do I have a core belief that I'm irreparably damaged and that exiting survival mode is not possible? If so, when did this belief come about? And what keeps it in place? Question number 2, what resources or support do you need in order to begin to shift that belief? It's one of the most important beliefs, because until you shift that, you keep yourself stuck on the hamster wheel. You must believe that it's possible to change and that it's not difficult. What resources or supports do you need in order to internalize this belief? And number 3, visualize the positive changes that will come to your life once you exit survival mode. Are you able to visualize your life being lived from a place of creation as opposed from a place of fear and survival? That's it for today. As always, thanks for being here. Take care of yourself, and please do be well. Welcome back. Now, this is the third and final section of the daily podcast. This is your silent meditation. Please find a place where you can be comfortable and undisturbed, where you can relax and spend some time with yourself for the next 10 minutes. You can choose to be sitting, standing, lying down, or in whatever position makes you most comfortable today. Just take some time to listen to yourself. Next, be sure that you're taking time to be with your breath and to connect more fully with your body. Don't be disturbed or overwhelmed by your thoughts. Simply allow them to pass. Just observe them. Do not engage with your thoughts. Only be mindful of them passing, as if they are leaves drifting down top river. Use this time to connect with yourself, whatever time of day you are listening to this. Namaste.